This is a Scrap Your Stash. Today is Saturday, so I'm going to be doing a scrapbook, and I have several pieces already cut. So I'm using the Love Story Mink for this one. This is our family album. These are our mats. I have 4 3x4 photos. Should have 4 3x4 photos. The other ones are around here somewhere, because I know I got 4. And then I have a journaling spot. And then these are all my pieces and parts. Okay, so let's go ahead. I may have to cut another 3x4 because I don't know where the other one is. Probably under my mat. That's probably what it is. You ever lost something and then pick up and then it's like floating underneath somewhere? Yeah, that's probably where it is. Okay, so anywho, I'm gonna just put those aside. I'm gonna start with, I'm gonna start with one of these 2-inch. These are 2x10. Let's just make this easier on myself. Put the 2 little dabs on there. This way. I know it's not gonna move. Okay. I didn't really get that very well done up on the top there. Okay. Need one of these. And I want to make sure that I'm using the dark side. So that is the dark side. I'm going to be putting this 1 inch from the top and 1 inch from the bottom, right up to the edge. Just like so. The next one is a 3.5 inch, making sure that this is my next one. And this is Harbor, so that was Scarlet, this is Harbor. Now we're almost at the end of the month, we only have 3 days left, so that's why I'm doing this one now. I should probably do it the first of the month, but I rarely do. Alright. Then this is C, and I do like the flowers, so I'm gonna, the other side is this, and I think the flowers are a bit more contrast between the white, so I'm gonna use the flower side. And this is not my son's, so the family can deal with flowers. I try to leave the flower sides off of my son's scrapbook because I can see him later in life being like, why did you make it so girly, Mom? But this is family. So there's that. I also have 2 little strips. This is a zip strip size. It's 1/2 inch by 5.5. This is 5.5 by, I think, 5/8. Sorry, that I made it. I think it's 5/8. So just 1/8 of an inch bigger. It's Harbor. I just wanted it a teensy bit bigger so it'll set this one off instead of it blending in because it's the same colors. I just wanted it to not blend in too much. There. So now I have like this little, basically like a little holder for whatever goes here. Okay. Let's go ahead and find some mats. I have 4x6 and 2 3x4s. I have no idea where my other 3x4 is. Got caught up somewhere, maybe in my photos. Might be where it is. In fact, I think it is. There it is. It was in my photos. So I actually did print photos this time. Okay, so let's go ahead and see, this one has a big, I don't know if you guys can see that, but I smudged it. So let's use the back. And I might be using more White Daisy for the title down here. Don't know yet. Actually, let's put that aside. Let's do a 3x4 first. It's easier to start from the side, the edge. That way I know where I am. Okay, this one's going to be a vertical one. And it's going to be just about 1/2 inch over and one, just a little over a quarter, or like right around 1 1/4 inch down from the top of my colors. This one's going to be about 1/2 inch over. Now I did trim my photos down just a touch so that they just a minute, so that they will show the mat in the back. Okay, 1/2 inch down, 1/2 inch in. There's those ones. Now I don't know where I'm going to place photos yet, so I'm going to pull this up, get rid of my marks on the back, my tape marks, and I'll probably write my journal off screen. But I'll explain what we did this month. It was a pretty low-key month. So you'll notice that there's no love story on this side. I only wanted it on that one side. Okay. This one goes first. This is another 2 inch by 10 Scarlet. And I'm not going to tack it down this time. It seemed like more trouble than what it was worth this last time. And I think it's just because this one goes really, really fast. Seems like it does anyway. Maybe I'm taking forever. But it seems really fast to me. There's that one. Pretty sure this is 3 1/4. Yep, 3 1/4. This is next. I want to make sure that I have the dark side. I prefer the dark sides. Sometimes I prefer the light side, but it's pretty rare that I use a light side. It's usually like in mattes, or I need some contrast or something, some tone-on-tone contrast. Okay, this is Harbor again. Now I can always stamp these with their same color ink, the pattern too, or I can do Versamark, especially on the dark ones, that it turns up a little bit better. Or I could do linen, will show up quite a bit. We're going to try that on I think we're going to try linen on papaya here in a little bit. See how that looks. Okay, my journaling spot is actually too big. I think it's too wide. I think I forgot to trim it completely down. It's supposed to be a 3x4. Let's just make sure. Yeah, it's a little wide. Let's make sure it's a 3. I have 4. It's 1/4 inch on both sides. Big. And like this one, I'll probably actually use the light side. Like I said, for journaling or mattes, I will use the light side quite often for those two things. But plus I wanted it contrasting this because this is the same color. And what I could do is I could cut it down a little bit more and still put a white behind it. I'm debating. Or, what I should have done, and I'm going to do, let's get my shears and start this. Just give it some texture. And that'll give it a mat. I don't have to cut. I love white core for this reason. And give it some personality, that's for sure. If you want more of a solid straight edge, you could always put a straight edge on it, and or fold it first or something like that, and then rip it. I'm just ripping right down. Like, I don't like this straight. Since everything else isn't straight, I don't like this one. So yeah, I think that looks really cool, actually. So I think that was a good decision. But there's my journal. Okay, let's see it. The mats on here. I want to make sure it matches. So 1 1/4 up. And about 1/2 inch in. Okay, there's that. Now we have 1/2 inch over the other 3x4. Okay, so this is supposed to be 1/2 inch in. I've trimmed basically 1/2 inch on this with tearing it. 1/4 inch here, 1/4 inch here. So I'm gonna move this over like 3/4 inch, or yeah, 3/4 of an inch. Because that would be more or less where it should be. Let's get that side. And about 3/4 of an inch up from here. So there's my journal. Half an inch up and about 3/4 inch over. That's what I'm going to do. There we go. Okay, now I get to decorate, right? And then put pictures on. So for decorating purposes, I'm using Melissa Esplin stamps, or month stamps. And February's right here. I think I'm going to probably stamp it on Daisy, and then we'll do either Daisy or, one of the others, maybe a papaya. Let me see what I have floating around. That fit. Well, this way. And then I'm planning on cutting it out anyway, so it doesn't matter. Let's just do it like that. It's too long for my skinny little block. Let's get a skinny long block. Okay. Now I could try Scarlet on there. Is that the light? Yeah, that's the light side. I'm going to use the light side. And I think, actually, I'm just going to do Harbor. I wonder if that'll make it weird. Let's do black. I'm going to do Archival. I think I got a little wonky on my cuts. Oh well. Maybe it's just optical illusion. That actually looks really pretty, I think. Let's get my shears out. Now I could have left it horizontally or diagonally. It would have looked really cool that way too, but I think I had already made up my mind to cut it, so. So I could have it like this, or what I was thinking about doing is having these down here. I think that would be really pretty in the corner. I don't know if you guys can really see that very much, but have that down there. I know what I was planning on doing too, and maybe we do that. Let me see if I find another scrap. I know I have to use a scrap, but I know we have another papaya scrap too, but I'm looking for like a smaller Harbor scrap than that. I'm not so sure I have one smaller, so I'll just cut that. I'm not so sure I want Harbor actually. Okay, I gotta find one more stamp set. I know exactly which one. This one. This is the one I was looking for. Let's actually use some papaya again. I think the Harbor is going to be too dark for what I want. And I know I have some papaya scrap. Okay, so let's use this. And that'll be pretty with the dark versus the light. Now, if you don't recognize this stamp set, don't worry. This was a special in 2020 with the fires in Australia. I believe it was 2020. It's either 2020 or 2019. With the really bad fires. It may have been 2019. But I just love this stamp set. It's so pretty and elegant. I like the heart, specifically. And you can put faith, hope, and then this one is keep your heads up and your heart strong. And I'm going to use Archival again. So you can tell I've used this one actually quite a bit. It's one of my first stamp sets from close to my heart. Probably why it's used. I'm just going to rub my thumb over it to give it some pressure all the way around so that maybe it'll actually look really good. There we go. I don't have any spots that are missing. And since February had Valentine's Day, and one of my pictures is for Valentine's Day, this will be perfect. Again, fussy cutting. I don't mind fussy cutting as long as it's not like for my Christmas cards. I have to cut for my Christmas cards. I don't know about you, but I send a lot of Christmas cards. Then I'm done. Usually. Can't stand it for that kind of stuff. But one here and one there is good. Or even like a dozen. It doesn't bother me to cut a dozen things. As long as you know how to fussy cut, then it's efficiently, then it can be quite enjoyable. There we go. So this is going to have a contrast now because we have the dark side of papaya and the light side of papaya. Some of that. I actually really like that. I think that's really pretty. I don't know about you, but I think that's awesome. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and attach this, and then maybe I'll 3D film the February. So I want this more or less up. And I'm running out of my 3-dimensionals. I need to buy some more. I usually try to use this size for motion cards. I try to make motion cards for like my niece's birthdays and that kind of stuff. I have 2 nephews, but one's graduating this year and one's already graduated quite a while ago, so they're no longer kids. Most of my nieces are kids. I have one niece who's 15. I think she just turned 15. The rest are 9 and under. 9 down to 1. Okay, there we go. I like that. I think that's really pretty. And then we'll put some sequins or something around it. Okay, let's get these pictures on because I always promise you pictures and never deliver. So these are what we did. We did alcohol paints with my sisters and my kids, of course, driving the tractor. This is my little niece. That's my 1-year-old niece. She's adorable. And then this was Valentine's Day. So this one is the only one that I know exactly where it goes because it's the only vertical. So that's easy peasy there. It's the only vertical 3x3. Actually, it's the only vertical photo in this whole layout. And a lot of the time when I'm dealing with photos that I print, because the ink can smudge easier, I take a scratch piece of paper and put it on top to lay it down. Now this one, I have these two I want on the other side. So we'll put the alcohol mark or the alcohol inks. We haven't played with those yet. Oh boy, they're addicting. They're fun. They look hard. They are intimidating. At least they were for me. Because I've been eyeballing those for quite some time. And we finally got to use some. And it was so much fun. We had such a good time. Now, I print my photos at home, and there's a couple reasons for that. One, I can do any size I want. Places don't usually do 3x4. It's very common and close to my heart layouts that you see a 3x4. But I don't see very many places actually printing 3x4 photos. So that's the biggest reason. The other reason is I overprint if I print. If I send it to printers, I'm like, oh, well, I might want this one. Oh, I might want this one. Okay, here's my other layout. This, we went to the park after my niece's basketball game. My sisters. The kids got to play with their aunts on the swings and on the slides, and they thought that was pretty cool. And then, of course, the tractor. This tractor is new to us, so we bought it last month. And so my husband, of course, is finding every little reason to have fun and use it. And of course, the kids are finding every excuse to sit on Dad's lap. So here he was just moving some gravel where we needed it, but we've also built a greenhouse this month by using it. Went and got some of the lumber in the backyard for it, and then we're gonna move it out of the shop. It's right now in the shop. We're gonna move it out of the shop here shortly. So I think that turned out really cute. These are really cute layouts, actually. But I am gonna put some sequins, and I am gonna cover these up. Just it's not my kid. I can't post her a whole lot. I don't want to post her a whole lot because I would appreciate that with my kids. So there's that. Now I have this cool handy dandy pickup tool. I don't know if you've seen it before, but it's pretty neat. I'm gonna just use some Bluebell sequins. I could use the Wildberry ones too. They have some white and pink, but I like the white and the Bluebell. And I'm just gonna put some dots in triangle type fashion. and we'll see how that goes. If you haven't used the pickup tool, it's like rubbery, gummy type of thing. And what I like to do is I like to use my shears too, my nonstick, to push the sequins in. And I'm not going to be using I'm not going to be using blue per se. These whites aren't really showing up though. I know that there's some clearish. Maybe we'll use a heart. I want it kind of subdued anyway, but I wasn't really planning on that subdued. Don't think. And let's just get, I think I covered it all. Oh, no, I have one more dot, but I don't know if I want to use a dot. Doesn't look quite balanced enough, so I think I'm gonna add a gem there and one more right there. Not a gem, but a sequin. There. I think that's a bit better. Okay. And I like to center mine around my titles or sentiments. It's usually where I like to put those. So, now I'll show you the finished product if I can. I have so much stuff out. This is crazy. Have you ever gotten that way? Start with a nice, clean, organized workspace, and then it's like, whoa, what happened? So, let's try, oh, touched it. Okay. So, there's my layout. I think it turned out really pretty. I love how I did this. That was probably one of my favorite things about this, and the heart. I love the heart behind February. I think it makes it stand out. So thank you so much for joining me. You guys have a great weekend, a great rest of the month, and we'll see you next month. And don't forget, new catalog and awesome paper deals. So check it out, dleader.closetomyheart.com. See you next time. Bye.